Hello, everyone. Welcome to Verbling. This is Justin. How's it going, Julian?
Hi teacher, how are you?
I'm doing great. Nice to have you in class. How about yourself? How are you, Julian?
Um,
Okay.
I don't know, with how do you say, with a lot of expectation, yeah.
A lot of expectations. So well, maybe you said maybe it's more common to say, are you like anticipation or you're looking forward to it?
Can you repeat me the question, please?
Maybe you're trying to say you're looking forward. You said with a lot of expectations. A lot of times, if you have a lot of expectations or you're excited, you
Yeah,
say,
excited, because I'm, how do you say, proving, verbling.
"Oh, you're
I'm,
testing
yeah,
it."
no, yeah,
Ah, nice. All right,
proving,
great.
and this is a good tool to learn a lot English. And I prefer have a uh, conversation because first of all you need to express your ideas, and then you need learn how to write, yeah, like
All
our
right,
our native language. First of all, you start to talk first.
all right, Julio. How's it going, Julio? Nice to see you.
Hey, what's up, Justin? What's
Yeah,
going on?
it's been a long time. What's been going on?
Nothing. Been
Oh,
working, and I a lot of work.
okay. No, I'm glad to have you back. So, guys, this class is gonna focus on fluency, and just like Julian was saying, to practice how to express yourself better. I'm gonna go and pull up the. Oh wait, I have to change the document and show you guys what we're gonna do. All right. So I'm calling this is kind of a new series I'm trying out today called a cultural exchange. All right, and the theme is tourism. All right. The idea is to pretend you are a tour agent or you're giving advice not to travelers that are coming to your country. Okay. I want you to describe places, attractions, things to do. Maybe talk about the climate. Like I said, if you're a tour agent, you want to be persuasive in your descriptions. Talk about all the positive things about your country and culture. All right, so I'm sure that might come easy to some of you. I know it's something that we often talk about, especially with foreigners. So it'll be good practice for that. I think it's practical. So I guess right here is the agenda. So first, we're just going to take turns. Maybe you could have time to prepare if you'd like. Each person will get about 3 to 5 minutes to talk about their country. All right. Afterwards, we're going to have an open conversation for any questions we have for that person. Sorry, guys. And at the end of class, each person we're going to maybe vote or just say who did the best at persuading us. Yeah. Where do we want to visit now after hearing all these places? So I think it'll be fun to just have a good informal conversation about our cultures, and I'm going to join in too because I'm really passionate about where I'm from. So you'll get to know where I'm from too. Important. I'll obviously be culturally sensitive. It's an important life skill, anyways. So, are we all familiar with this term, culturally insensitive? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
I
means
mean,
I don't try to make bad comments
yeah.
or offensive comments about anyone's culture.
Yeah.
Try to keep it
Exactly.
clean, voiced.
Mm-hmm. Usually don't have problems with this. I'm not worried about it, but I have to say it just to make sure we're all on the same page. All right. Good. I'm gonna welcome Vu. Nice to see you again. How's it going, Vu? Can you hear me?
Okay, teacher, I can hear you.
All right. Good. All right, guys. So we're gonna get started. I don't know if you need any time to prepare. This is kind of be something off the top of your head, or you can, if you want some preparation, you can maybe go in second or third. Okay. But yeah, maybe we should wait to see if anybody else joins us. Get a couple minutes, but I would like to know. Maybe we could see where everyone's from. So I'm gonna make a little table here. All right. Well, we have a new guy, Anderson. How's it going, Anderson?
Hello, well, I'm new here and I just was watching the class and I decided to join it.
All right. Cool. All right. I'm glad you joined. More the merrier for this class. Have you ever heard this expression? More the merrier. Does anybody know what this means?
No.
More the better.
Yeah, like more people is better. Yeah, the more people, the better. Yeah, so if you want to be very welcoming, it's a nice expression.
Oh,
Yeah, if
Okay.
someone goes, "Hey,
It's
can
very
I join?" You say, "Yeah, more the merrier."
okay.
What's that?
Gotcha. No,
All
I
right,
understand.
excellent. All right, Anderson, I'll put you in here. And then we've got
So the
Julian.
first one.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean you're first, but start thinking about details. All right, Anderson, you're gonna have to maybe change your bandwidth. Yeah? Yeah, for you guys that are new here, I'm gonna show you a little trick. If you have any connection issues, let me see if I can pull this up. You guys know where the bandwidth adjustment is? It's not gonna work.
No.
No? Even the experienced? Here, I'll show you here. Give me a second to pull it up and then we'll continue. Just so we don't have any
Okay.
problems with. 1 second here. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, the bandwidth. It's on the top.
Yeah, it says it gives you the option of only have audio or a very low resolution image.
Yeah. Do you guys see this? It's on the top. It's like a couple bars. If you don't see it, I'm going to have a print screen here for you in a second. Yeah.
That sounds
Anderson,
like a bandwidth problem.
yeah. So, Anderson, check this out. Give me a second. Ah, it's really blurry. I don't know why. All right. So, can you see this, Anderson? Right here. See, I have 1 bar. That means I'm very low bandwidth and I have no problems. Can you see my mouse here? I think I'm up. So if any of you guys have connection issues, Anderson, I think you have some. So go to the spot right between the little flower-looking thing here. I think it's supposed to be a gadget, and then the camera. There's 4 bars that you can adjust. All right. All right. So let's get started. So Anderson, can you hear me? All right, we'll wait till he gets this thing sorted. Julian, where are you from? Or Julio, where are you from?
Mexico.
All right.
I'm from
excellent.
Colombia.
All
Sorry.
right. No problem. And Vu, where are you from?
Vietnam.
Vietnam. And then hopefully Anderson comes back. He's hopefully sorting his things out. So good. 3 different countries. Excellent. And then I'll even put myself on here. I'm from the United States.
Oh,
All right. And then if anybody else joins, we'll definitely add them to this list. Do we have anybody that wants to I guess volunteer to be first? So while we're observing, think about a couple things, yeah? When you're observing, what's interesting, obviously. Any questions? Because each person, like I said, we're gonna have 3 to 5 minutes to talk about your country with no interruptions. Okay?
Hmm.
So when you're listening, so listeners, I guess I could say, what's interesting? Any questions? Anything else? What else would you guys think of when you're listening to these descriptions? Anything else would you want to listen for?
Well, I guess that covers it.
What you would want to do? Why? Okay, so things like this. So any things that kind of strike you. This might be a new word, strike. Does anybody know what this means in this context? Anything that strikes you.
Something that just catches your attention.
Very good, excellent. All right, good. So, any volunteers for someone to go first here?
I can go.
Yeah, it's the attitude, Julio. All right, so Mexico. All right, so everyone listen up and yeah, just talk away, Julio. Talk about your favorite things in your country, what you like to do, anything.
Sure. Okay, I want to invite you guys to Mexico, which is a really beautiful country. It is just is bordering with United States, and I think Guatemala and Belize. Yeah, if my geography it's correct, I think that's correct. And well, Mexico, it's a really cool place. You know, we speak Spanish, and we have our own kind of Spanish, which is like the Mexican Spanish. We have a lot of nice slang here in Mexico. So probably if you hear a Mexican talking in the street, you wouldn't understand a thing, even if you know Spanish. So if you want to come and learn the real deal, you can come to Mexico and learn the Mexican Spanish. We also have like hundreds of dialects here in Mexico. So around 20 to 30% of the population speaks different language. They call it Nahuatl, Maya, um, bunch of them, Zapoteco, stuff like that. So that's also pretty interesting. Also, we have all types of ecosystems here in Mexico. We have deserts, we have snow mountains, we have rainforest. So whatever you like, we have it here. Um, what else? Well, the food here is awesome. So I guarantee you would put up at least 10 pounds while you're visiting Mexico. We have great food, Mexican food, food that you cannot find anywhere else. And if you have ever eaten in Taco Bell, Mexican food is nothing like Taco Bell. That's Tex-Mex. So Mexican food is really, really delicious. We have tacos, of course, enchiladas, tamales. We make a lot of food out of corn, and we have nice beverages. We have something that we call horchata, that it's a beverage made out of rice or coconut, really delicious and sweet. And of course, Mexican candy, they are the best. Okay, a lot of calories. Mexico is actually a very safe place. very secure despite whatever you hear in the news. And you can go and find very quiet, small towns where you can actually um, talk with the locals. And we have a lot of stories and tales, very interesting in Mexico. And Mexico was colonized by the Spanish, but we still keep our indigenous roots. And I think that's something that many countries don't have, like that connection with their past. And we have nice historical places, nice colonial cities that resembles the cities that are in Spain. And we also have small villages where indigenous people still lives in the way they used to live 500 years ago. So that's definitely a place that you want to visit. We have nice beaches, and we also have really nice resorts. So top of the line when it comes to tourism. Most of people in Mexico they don't speak Spanish. A lot of you guys think that we speak English because we are so close to the United States, but the truth is that we don't. So it's good if you learn just a little bit of Spanish before you come to Mexico. You will really want to have a conversation with the locals. And but people in Mexico are really, really nice. They are very welcoming and friendly, and they will be glad to just show you around or tour you around. So you won't find long faces in Mexico. Um, you just find smiles and polite, nice people keeping it real. So I don't know how much time do I have. Should I
No,
continue?
no, that's good. I think that's plenty. That's plenty. Very good.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Julio. Before we continue, Jenna, I want to welcome you to the class. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm excellent. Nice to have you. Do you know what we're doing here in the class, or do you need a quick explanation?
I think you're discussing about the cultural background of.
Yeah. Yep. And we're taking turns. And what I want you to do when you're listening is to think of questions. And what that's like, I've done it up here. I actually wrote some questions I have for Julio, and then also I'm writing a couple little things I want to go over. I have to be very picky with Julio since he's got very good fluency, but I did find a few things for him. Um, but first, Julio, I have a couple questions. What region has the most difficult dialect to understand in Mexico?
Wow, all of them are really difficult. Actually, if you hear a dialect, probably you would confuse it with Chinese. Uh, Actually, there is a theory that some how Chinese or Asian tribes discovered America, and we have some sort of an Asian legacy. And there are actually some dialects that have words that means the same in Spanish than in Chinese. So that's
Really?
pretty awesome, yeah.
Ah, cool. All right, very good. My other question was, what's the main difference between Tex-Mex and real Mexican?
Real Mexican is made handcrafted. All the food is made with the hands. So you find the real Mexican tortilla. It is done by hand, and also we don't use that much fried food like you do it with Tex-Mex.
Okay.
And portions are smaller. So probably you eat Tex-Mex, you're gonna get a very very large portion of stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely Mexico portions are smaller and tacos are smaller. They're not fried like with the fried tortilla that you have that is kind of crispy.
Uh-huh.
We don't use that tortilla. We use a soft tortilla, smaller but way more delicious.
Okay, yeah, and it's spicier too, I think, yeah? A lot spicier.
Sometimes you might think it is all the Mexican food is spicy, but not really. I mean, nowadays in Mexico, in most restaurants, you have the option. They don't really spice your food. You have the option to put chili or sausage to your food.
Yeah, hot
But
sauce. Hot
hot sauce,
sauce.
sorry, hot sauce to your food.
No,
But
chili sauce as well. Good.
mhm,
And then you said something about candy. What kind of candy?
that's the thing. I don't even know what they are made of, but most of them are made out of dairy
Dairy.
and dairy and
Okay.
nuts. What we call, I don't know what's the name in English. Like they all have this sweet cover on them, probably that's made out of honey and some sort of um, mixture with sugar and other stuff. I really don't know what they are made of, but they're really delicious, and they are also made by hand, so you won't find like they are very fresh. So you they just made it, and you just make it and you eat it right
All
out of
right.
the oven or whatever they are making it.
Cool. All right. Anybody else have any questions for Julio? I kind of had quite a few, but this is your turn to ask Julio any questions about Mexico. If not, it's fine. Maybe afterwards too, we can do some more if we have time. But all right, nice work, Julio. So this is something that I learned that I've noticed with you. It's a very small error,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a habit, and I understand how difficult it is to change bad habits. So what do you think? This correct? Speaks different language?
I think it speak different languages.
Yeah, or if you want to keep it one language, we have to have what here?
They speak um
Different.
a different language. Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
was speaking different languages because there are many dialects out there. So
So maybe you didn't pronounce the S.
yeah,
So just
it
remember,
happens
guys.
sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Just remember, if it's singular, we need a. If it's plural, we don't need a. Okay. Put up at least 10 pounds. I think you got. We need a different. We need a different word here. Anybody know?
You
Pay.
would gain.
There you go. Yes.
What's the deal with put up? We're gonna use it like that, like put up weight.
Put up weight. It almost sounds like you're lifting. Putting up weight is like you're lifting. You're exercising.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Wrong
I
verb.
can put up 100 pounds on bench press. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's yeah for gaining weight. You can add at least 10 pounds. That's another way we say it. Okay. Good. Cities that resembles.
Cities that resemble.
Exactly. This is that one that I'm talking about. It's difficult to get over this.
Yeah, that's true.
Indigenous people still lives.
Still live.
All right. So I mean, try to keep conscious of it. It's a very small error. You obviously
Yeah,
got
the problem with this is yeah.
okay.
But the thing is, when you try to speak, you are speaking about something that you just go with the flow and you don't really stop to check your grammar. But
Yep.
definitely, I mean, I need to practice my grammar so it comes out naturally when I'm speaking.
No, I hear ya. I know. My Spanish, I do the same thing. All right, we have to continue to the next person here. Anybody want to volunteer to be second? Give you about 3 to 5 minutes, just you talking about your country and why we should visit.
Okay, I can, teacher.
Okay, who was that? Vu?
Me,
All right,
me
perfect. Vietnam. Okay, why should we go
Vietnam,
to
yes.
Vietnam?
Um, Now I would like to introduce you about my city, Saigon. Saigon City in Vietnam is the biggest city in Vietnam. A lot of foreigners came here, and they like the weather. The weather, the weather here. We have two seasons. We have two seasons, rainy and dry season. Mm, um, uh, it's not too hot and not too cold when living here. Um, um, I I think a lot of foreigners like the weather here because uh, it's comfortable with them. Mm, especially the food here is very delicious, such as phở is a kind of noodle food of noodle. Mm, you can enjoy uh, you can enjoy seafood, mm, uh, some special food like pancake. Mm, um, you and snail. Yes, it's really interesting with uh, with you. Mm, uh, um, uh, from Saigon, you can go to other uh, attractions and easily. Um, you can go to the beach. Um, it's just about 2 hours by bus. Mm, uh, there are many famous places in Saigon. Um, and you can discover about the history, our history, uh, mm, with many old building. The people here is also very friendly. Um, many students in many students here always go to the park to catch foreigners to and talk English. It's easy to talk with local people here to learn about Vietnamese culture. Mm, uh, I think I think you should go to my city to travel.
All right, very good, excellent. All right, does anybody have any questions for Vu?
Mm-hmm. Uh, what's your what what's your favorite Vietnamese food?
Phở is the a kind of noodle food.
Okay, a
Phở,
noodle dish. Okay.
yes. Um, yeah.
How do you spell
Uh,
it?
PHO, right?
phở,
Okay,
phở.
like that? BHO? Okay.
PHO.
Yes, yes. PSO.
Okay, fine. Okay.
I like
Uh,
it. I like it.
yes. We can make it with beef or chicken.
Ah,
Yes.
cool. I have a question for you, Vu. So I don't remember hearing what's like the main attraction in Vietnam. What does everybody do if they visit either
Um,
Saigon or Vietnam as a country?
is sorry, can you repeat the question?
What is the main attraction in Vietnam, like either in your city or in the country? If I visit Vietnam, what do I have to do? What does everyone do?
Um, uh, I think go to Saigon. Go to
So,
Saigon because we have a Western street. A lot of tourists live there. Just we just have to pay $2 per day for renting a room.
okay. Oh wow. So yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, just to we could say to most people want to get to know the city. Yeah. This is the way we say it. Get to know. You get to know
Yes.
something. Yeah. Very good. All right. Excellent. Thank you. A couple things here. How do we say this word, Vu?
Uh, talk.
Excellent. I think when you said it fast, it wasn't clear. So make sure you, yeah, I like that. You have to make the A, talk. Um,
Talk.
and then this word, how do we say this?
Snail.
Yeah, very good. I think you know the pronunciation, but maybe speaking. And then, I don't know, you said something like a pancake. That was a typical food you were talking about? Something like a pancake?
Like a pancake.
Is that what you
Um,
said?
yes, yes.
Oh, it's like a typical food. What is that called?
Um, uh, called uh, um, bánh tráng.
Oh, geez, I'll never be able to spell that. Wow. Yeah, I know how difficult it is for English pronunciation, but sometimes other languages, I know, puts it into perspective. All right,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you for your time, Vu. I want to welcome Richard. Richard, how are you doing? Can you hear us? All right, we'll see if he comes. All right, Mara, Julian, and Jenna. Jenna, I guess, where are you from? I didn't find out where you from yet. Or Julian,
Okay.
you want to go
Uh,
next?
okay.
Sorry,
Me, Julian. I'm from Colombia.
Okay, Jenna, you'll be next, okay?
okay.
All right, Julian. Let's hear what you got to say about Colombia.
Okay. Colombia is the it's a beautiful country. You can find a lot of things to do. For example, you can go to the north. You can find the beach, the coast. Mm, for example, a beautiful city, Cartagena, Santa Marta, La Guajira. Mm, you can find in the Guajira desert, for example. You can find a beautiful building in Cartagena, uh, historical country. Uh, for example, you can find a lot of kind of or type of food. For example, in the coast, you can find a lot of kind of food made of fish or yeah, kind of rice. For example, different type of drinks. If you want to know for example, go to the Amazonas, to the south, near to Brazil, Peru. If you want to, you can find a lot of a beautiful environment. You can find a lot of kind of how do you say species? How do you
How do you say it?
uh,
Anybody? Spices.
spaces, reptiles, birds, I don't know, a lot of
Oh,
beautiful places. Here in Bogota, in the capital, you can find a cultural capital, because here in Bogota you can find a lot of people from the other regions. Uh, if you want to know the culture, for example, you can go to Cali, dance salsa. Mm, if you want to dance other kind of music, you go to Carnaval de Barranquilla. If you want to go to other carnival, you go to near to Ecuador. For example, Pasto, black and white carnival. Mm, if you want to go to dance other kind of music, you go to the, how do you say, Llanos Orientales, uh, and you can find a lot of kind of region, and you can find the different ways to talk about Spanish. Yeah, you can about the how do you say uh, voices, tones.
Tones, you mean like accents or?
Ah, yeah, different accent. For example, in Cali and the coast, the center, the south, you can find easily different accent, different expression, and the different uh, the culture, basically. Here in Colombia, you can practice a lot of extreme sport and a natural sport. For example, you can go to visit inside the caverns, go to, I don't know, rappel, canopy. Here in Colombia, you can find a lot of rivers, beautiful rivers. Um, I don't
All
know.
right, yeah, no, Julian, I think
For
that's
example,
that's
here
good.
in Colombia, you can.
What's that?
Okay,
Finish?
and I don't know, the most important, the coffee and the flowers, for example, is the most products here in Colombia and international products.
Excellent. No, that's very interesting. Very good. Excellent. I have a couple. Well, first, anybody else have any questions about Colombia for Julian?
What about salsa? If I wanna go and dance salsa, what's a good place to go?
It's, for example, in Cali, Valle del Cauca, you can find a lot of people who dance a lot of salsa, spectacular salsa. You open your mouth and you say, "Oh no, how they move your body." Um, International ESPN, you can see the uh, different tournament, uh,
Yeah, competitions.
competition, salsa competition, and you can find Colombian people.
Okay.
And amazing.
Julio, do they dance a lot of salsa in Mexico? I don't even know.
It is somewhat popular, but it's not the most popular kind of
Yeah,
music. But well, I'm a big salsa fan, so that's why I was asking.
yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Very good. All right, Julian. I got a couple questions for you. What's the Pasto Black and White Festival about?
It's a festival who dance a lot. For example, I don't know. It's a typical festival, but it's not about the black and white people, but I don't know. It's similar to Carnaval de Barranquilla. It's like
Okay.
it's yeah. I don't know how to explain the black and white
No,
festival.
yeah, no, I think it's very interesting. I've heard of it. I asked because I've heard of it. No, it's got some interesting history. It is about actually the past though, the past with the slavery, isn't it? I've heard that the back in the day, the white people used to actually let the slaves celebrate for one day, and that represents the Black Day. And then this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true. I want to know if it's true. And then
Yeah,
I heard they used to paint themselves white the following day to honor the slave owners. But is this true or no?
Here in Colombia, we celebrate de la Afrocolombianidad, about the similar, like the Afro-Colombianidad is like is remember the black people and and the slave, um,
Hmm.
who's the people who suffer a lot of I don't know the I don't know the about the suffer the slave.
Yes, through slavery. No, they're honored. It's a I think it's a nice celebration. I would like to actually get to know it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would like to check it out. Very
yeah.
good. And Los
Um,
Llanos, how do we say Llanos? Anybody?
mm,
No?
Llanos like the landscape, or like
Yeah.
Eastern
llanos it's
Plains.
Plains.
plains, no?
Yeah, the
Or
plains.
meadows,
Yeah.
or meadows.
Colombia is
Hmm.
Eastern Plains, or could
Hmm.
be Llanos Oriental. You can find a lot of kind of meat.
In
It's
the
a
plains.
region you can find a lot of uh, I don't know the people who preserve the cows. So for example, to how did you say?
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. No,
Yeah.
it's funny because Julian, I'm actually living in Colombia, so I know a lot about your country.
Yeah, welcome everybody
Yeah,
to Colombia.
yeah. All
We
right,
are
how do?
we are
What's that?
we are praying about the peace in the
Yeah,
Havana, Cuba. The government is negoti is neg is negotiate neg-
negotiating.
negotiating the peace. And I don't know. I hope that here in Colombia the things change.
No, they are. That's doing well
Um,
here. You guys are definitely doing a lot better. All right,
okay.
so I'm gonna go through these quick. So we got spices and species. So be careful with that, okay?
Okay. It's
And then we
pieces.
have desert and dessert. Okay.
Um, Dessert.
And this is actually in English, we usually say Amazons. And beautiful environment, I think you'd want to say what Julio just said, landscape, okay?
Okay.
All right. And you can find easily different accents. We usually put this is an adverb. Where do we put adverbs? Before or after the verb?
Mm,
Before.
Yep. So always put the adverb before the verb, okay?
easily fine. Okay.
Okay. All right, we better continue. I want to make sure Richard and Jenna have some time here. So, Jenna, it's your turn. Where are you from?
I'm from China.
Okay. Let's hear about your country.
Okay. Right now I'm living in United States. But I can talk about China.
Yes,
Um,
please.
so first of all, I want to let you know I'm really tired today. So if I didn't do a good job, just you can correct me anytime.
No problem.
Okay. So for China, the famous the most famous food is rice. We're eating rice every day. We're eating rice every day, and for most of Chinese people, we cannot live one day without the rice. And there's a lot of people in China, so most of you probably watch TV show, and you know we had so many people in the street. It was always crowded, and the food tastes different. In different places of China, and as well as just like the food, the look of the Chinese people looks slightly different compare looks slightly different depends on the region. So if you go to northern area, uh, the people live in the north side of China. They tend to have the bigger body frame and they're taller compared to the people living in the south side of China. And just like Mexico, we have many different dialects, and even the dialects are so different depends on the place you live in. And for some people, even they speak with the same dialect, um, the same word might sound different because we're having different accent. Um, so um, for China, is a developing country. After 1980, ever since from revolution, Reform Revolution, and for most of the Chinese area, um, if you come to visit China, most of the places are safe enough for tourists, but you have to be careful with pendler on the street. Before you make a purchase, you probably want to compare the price of three different shops, so they're not going to charge you with a higher price. And if it's possible, I encourage people visit Hong Kong. Um, the reason why I encourage people to visit Hong Kong is because most of people speak English there, and they understand basic English. So if you want to communicate with them and try to buy something, you're not going to have difficulties. And for most of the product and goods in China, in Hong Kong, they label the price tab tag on the product, so they're not going to charge you with a higher price because everything is being labeled. Um, and China is really close to Japan and Korea. So nowadays, the culture was greatly influenced by Japanese and Korean culture. And I'm not sure if there's any other student right here watching Korean um, what's the name of it? Korean show, and Korean show is really popular in China, and a lot of the young lady they love it and they enjoy it and watching it every day, just like some of my friend.
All right.
And basically, it's a nice place to visit, but before you go to China, do some research.
All right. Very
Well,
good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why should I research?
Do some research so you know where to go. You don't want to get lost in the middle of nowhere and asking the people around you and they do not understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. It's a big country, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I do see some tourists before in China and they having the map, but there's no one around them understand what they're talking about.
I have.
Yeah.
I, I want to ask something because I read this somewhere, and you are from China, so you should know. Is it true that you cannot give someone a watch as a present? That's disrespectful.
You say watch.
Yeah, watch.
Um, I do know you cannot get them clock
Oh,
and
okay.
also the photo frame. So this is a taboo. You cannot get any person clock or the photo frame because clock has the uh, same meaning as death. If you pronounce
Mhm.
watch, it's the same. It sounds the same as death. And then if you're giving someone
Oh,
photo frame, it means they're going to put their photo on their funeral.
Oh no.
what about a green hat?
Green hat is not. You better not to give it to a gentleman. It means his wife or his girlfriend is cheating behind him.
Okay, interesting. All right. Very good. Very good, Jenna. Anybody else have any questions?
Hmm.
I was thinking, Jenna, like, how is it traveling in China? You kind of explained this when you were talking to Julio. Um, yeah, so I think it's difficult. Yes, if you don't know the language, it's difficult, or people get by, no problems.
Um, if you go to some small town, then you're definitely going to have trouble. But if you go to a bigger city like Beijing and Hong Kong or some of the prosperous city, then you're not going to have any trouble. But just not the small
Yeah.
town. If you really want to visit small town, because I know some people love countryside, but you don't want to get into trouble. You don't want to start somewhere and don't know where to go.
Yeah, maybe get a tour guide.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very good. So we eating rice every day. Maybe for you probably know this. What do we need?
We're
ING.
We're eating rice.
Uh-huh, exactly. I didn't hear the R. Maybe you said we're and it was really fast. So that's really picky. And yeah, Julio said most watched TV show, not just one show, TV shows.
TV shows. Okay.
And how do we say this?
Uh, is it paddler?
Panhandlers.
It's called
Okay.
panhandler. Okay.
I think you said that. I think you said that. And how do we say this?
Labeled.
Very good. Yeah, I didn't hear the D, but I heard it that time, so nice.
I think I say paddler. I'm not sure whether this is the right word to use. So you say,
Pat Holder?
I put it on the chat box.
Yeah, put on the
So
chat. We're going to continue with Richard if Richard wants to participate.
I put it on the chat box already.
All right,
Paddler.
perfect. Thanks. All right, Richard, are you with us? Where's that dog coming from? All
It's
right,
not me.
Julian. All right, Richard, you want to participate? It's up to you. If not, that's totally fine. Give him a second.
What's that?
All right. Yeah, one second. I gotta check the chats here. Okay. All right. Maybe he just wants to listen. That's not a problem at all. All right. So I guess maybe I can tell you guys quickly about where I'm from, unless you guys just want to have a conversation to finish. Um, yeah, I can give you a little quick run around where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm from the United States, the state of Minnesota, the heartland we call it, because it's in the center of the United States. And there's a lot of agriculture in the center of the United States, so we call it the heartland. We border Canada, which means we kind of have a Canadian culture. Minnesota is also known as the land of 10,000 lakes, so I'm very excited to visit Minnesota for the first time in 3 years during the summer in July, during July 4th, because with 10,000 lakes, we have a lot of fun in the summer. Everyone has a boat, and it's very outdoors country, and actually we're known as the Minnesota Nice, we call it, where no one's afraid to say hello in the street. It's very common, and we'll give a helping hand if you need it. Actually, yeah, driving, people actually, it's not as aggressive as many big cities. When we drive, we let people in. We let people, we don't cut people off as much, and it's just kind of a whole, in all aspects, we're kind of nice like that. Um, what else? Another the thing that I like about Minnesota the most probably is the northern part. It's very wilderness, a lot of wilderness up there, and we actually have a place called the Boundary Waters. The Boundary Waters is pretty much 10,000. I mean, we have more than 10,000 lakes. The Boundary Waters is a canoe area. If you're interested in canoeing, it's incredible, and it's not very famous, which makes it even better because it's pretty much a wilderness country where there's hundreds of thousands of lakes, I would say, and you can canoe with nobody. You can go days without seeing anybody canoeing through lakes, and you carry your equipment through different lakes and go camping. So if you love the outdoors, the Boundary Waters is incredible, and it's very peaceful and beautiful. There's a very common bird there called the loon. It has a very interesting sound it makes. We call it the crying. Like, it cries. It sounds like someone is actually crying. The loon is an incredible animal. It dives and gets the water, and it's our state bird. What else? Food. We don't. I mean, the United States has a lot of mix of different foods. I don't know if we're known for a lot of deep fried stuff. Actually, during our Minnesota Fair, we have cheese curds. They're called. They're deep fried cheese. We have a lot of good cheeseburgers, different types of cheeseburgers. Hot dishes is what we're known for. And what hot dishes are, they're a mix like casseroles. They're pretty much another word for casserole. Okay. And we do that for the winter. We make a hot dish and we eat the hot dish all week long, so we don't have to cook because we don't have fresh food in the winter. So hot dishes are nice to put on the pounds, as Julio would say it. Yeah, and that's what we do in the winter. And that's what's best. One last thing I'm gonna describe before we finish. Minnesota, one thing I really miss is the four seasons. When you live in four seasons, you might not like it with the winter. But now that I've lived in a rainy and dry season for a while, I miss the four seasons because you're always excited for each new season, even winter. So the first snow, you're excited for the first snow, and you get out there and you start sledding, you start ice skating, and you get excited, but then it gets too cold, and you're like, oh, I hate the winter. It's too long. So then after that, you get excited for the snow to melt, and it's not even nice outside. It's cold and wet still, but we're outside with t-shirts, playing sports, and then before you know it, it's summertime and we're out in the lakes again. But then we're picky. We think it's too hot, so then at the end of summer, we're like, oh, I'm ready for it to cool down. So it's kind of funny that way. And then we go to the fall, and the fall is beautiful for hiking and stuff. So that's all I have, guys. I talked your ear off there for a bit. Any last minute questions about where I'm from?
Well, when you mentioned about the thousand lakes, I cannot help thinking about 1,000,000,000 mosquitoes. Is that true?
Exactly. That's probably one of the worst parts about Minnesota is mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, no, it is too bad. You know, you're in a beautiful area and then you get bitten by mosquitoes, have to wear chemicals and stuff. But there's way to prevent it. You just have to wear clothes and stuff. But yeah,
Smoke
you're right.
cigars.
Yep, smoke. There's definitely things you can do to avoid fires. We love our fires, yeah?
Okay.
Campfires. They
Mm, what about the sport? What is the most popular sport in United States or the most popular sports?
Well, like I said, United States is really big too. So each kind of state has their own preferred sport. Minnesota, we're known as the hockey state because we have all those lakes. We like to ice skate on the lakes. So I'd say hockey is the most popular in Minnesota, but in general, we have the main sports: American football, basketball, and baseball. I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
You can find for example people from California, people from Washington, people from I don't know in the middle of the country. You can find a different accent,
Yeah, Minnesota has a
or is
very different
similar the
accent.
way that the
No, it's different. Every state or region, I'd say, Midwestern accent. Minnesota has actually a specific accent. If you watch the movie Fargo, some people think that this is a true. I mean, it's kind of a true Minnesota accent. It's the more of the countryside people. They have a more of a Fargo type of accent where don't you know, you betcha. Not Minnesota. Coat, boat. Yeah, they have that kind of Scandinavian accent. Yeah, but no, every region has their accent, definitely. Yeah, the Southern accent and Texan accent. Very good.
okay.
All right, guys, we're about finished up. I'm glad we got everybody in and everybody participated. It was really, really nice having you guys and hearing about your stories. So I'm going to probably plan on doing a couple of these. I'm thinking of some more themes. If you have any ideas, send them over to me. I think my next one I'm going to do is food. So we'll talk more about food rather than just tourism in general. And then I think I might do a music one because I know a lot of countries have specific music, and that might be fun. So it's just kind of an open conversation like this where everyone gets an opportunity. So I hope you enjoyed it.
All right, Justin. Nice.
That's nice, and it's really good to know about the Mexico,
Yeah.
China, Vietnam. And I don't
Definitely.
know, Richard, I don't know, suppose from Peru, but
Yeah, Richard. I don't know. Maybe just, he likes to listen. That's fine. I don't pressure anyone to participate. It's just as long as you're listening, that's better than nothing. It's great. So
okay,
very good. All
thanks
right,
a lot.
guys. Yeah, no, I'm definitely very interested in all of your countries. I think I would want to visit each one of them. Tell you the truth.
Okay,
So,
Okay,
you're welcome.
okay,
all right,
welcome. Thank
guys.
you very
Have a
much.
great day.
Have a good
Bye
night.
bye.
Same.
Great
Bye.
having you.
See ya.